evening, Tiffany. Welcome to the Yinzer report on Sports Radio on Sports Night at 3:30 live from the Yinzer podcast in the Soccer Bowl Paraphernalia. On the season show, well, what's another quarterback lead for the Pittsburgh Steelers off the list? What and who are we down to? Aaron Rodgers, first round draft pick, Mason Rudolph as the starter, while silent Steelers may have a board director as their Yinzer report host. All four, you must hear this. Let's go Steelers. The Pittsburgh Penguins have Sidney Crosby. The Penguins had a chance in the playoffs. The Penguins are 100% slip away. But they have Sidney Crosby, who just completed another NHL record, and this one he passed is a great one. Wayne Gretzky. Let's go Pens. The Pittsburgh Pirates opening day 2025 show they are still quick training formula, stop losing effort. Do not let games slip away like this, especially when Paul Skeens. It's the game with a lead, and the Pirates are 0-1 of the season. They are 0-1 when Paul Skeens pitches. Do not like hearing losses by the Buccos when Paul Skeens pitches. Let's go Pirates. I will start today's show off with our tremendous sponsors, IE Sports Radio's new sponsor, Vital, along with the amazing Planet Jerky Premium Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on another planet, and Seal the Deal Wax Steel Wax Stamps. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. Plus IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and why we are doing the Yinzer Report on the air. Well, Steel City, please come join me on my 63rd episode, 42nd live on StreamYard. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps. for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at SealTheDeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Ralph Calise, your host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport. How's everybody doing out there today? Thank you for tuning in, and who already is tuned in. I see the viewers are jumping in already. We're over around 25 already. I am your host, Ralph Calise, for the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. And it is Friday night. We are going to talk Pittsburgh sports. But as we go through our sponsors here, as always, if you listen to me, I always say, please make sure you listen to our sponsors. They are very important to us. And we also have a new one that we're going to go through right now that has joined IE Sports Radio. And that is our newest sponsor, Raw Nutritious Supplements. Get rawnutrition.com, and you can use the promo code IESR for 10% off of all your gatherings from that Get Raw Nutrition. So check them out and give them a try, and you got the promo code there from IE Sports Radio. About the show, that is the X-Twitter account at Yinzer_Report_IE. Anything you like to say to me or the show about the show, please go to that X-Twitter feed, and you can leave your messages there. And my personal account on X-Twitter is at KaliseR786. You can also get in touch with me there. All right. And one other thing before we get started, the radio station here now has a supporters club. So what IE Sports Radio is doing, everybody who has a show on IE Sports Radio has this link. It's called the supporters club. But this link is specifically for the Yinzer Report and your host, Ralph Calise. So it's for the show. It's for me. If you're feeling gracious and you want to help out your favorite host here on the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, just click on that link there at the Supporters Club that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen there in the yellow, and hit that up. And if you have $5 to spare each month that you're really not doing anything with, you'll help support me and my show, my background, myself, and my radio station, IE Sports Radio, with all your help with that support. I thank you very much always for tuning in. And if you become a supporter of the club, I will have you on the show, and I'll make you run the show, and you can have fun running the Yinzer Report for that night. So I believe that's a fair trade right there. All right, so let's get into why we are here. And our first subject, I'm going to start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I've come up with something over the past week that I've seen, that I've put together, and let's just go through it. Do the Steelers have a new director at quarterback? And I don't mean Aaron Rodgers. It's not going to be Russell Wilson because he's gone. And the only quarterback they have slated as a starter right now is Mason Rudolph. So let's get into it. And I'm going to go through this. And if you're out there listening and you're in the comments, let me know what you think about this. So we'll start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation. So now you remember some shows back, I did show on what the Steeler upper management was saying about the quarterback situation. It was right after the season, and nobody knew what was going to happen at the time or where it got to at this point. But let's just go back a little bit, and I'll start off by saying the show that I did with Art Rooney II in late January. And I picked out his biggest comment of that spiel that he went through about the end of the season, and they want to win, and it sucks and all this. His comments on Russell Wilson, they were on Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and his comment was, "I think they are both capable quarterbacks, and my preference, remember that word, my preference, that phrase, would be to sign one of them, so that will be the priority." And I think that gives us the best opportunity to move forward. Art Rooney, what you're preaching there is not what happened. I'll move on. So the Steelers, this is what's been going on with the Steelers for the past 4 years, fifth year coming up, because we still don't know who the quarterback's going to be. The Steelers have started 5 different quarterbacks in what will be their 5th straight season. That's the 5th straight season coming up, 5th straight season openers, and have turned over their entire quarterback room 2 years in a row. Again, Tomlin winning streak of over 500 with the wins is just inconceivable now without a starting quarterback and how he does it, and a mainstay quarterback and still how he does it. But let's not forget, it's been only the last 4 plus this year, which will be 5, which we're counting, because he had Ben Roethlisberger lead him in those prior seasons that he was the coach. Tomlin and the Steelers' record in that time, 38, 29, and 1, and of course the 3 playoff appearances, all losses. Just to go over the quarterbacks, the starters, I'll go backwards from 2024. Of course, last year the starter was Justin Fields before Russell Wilson took over. 2023 was Kenny Pickett, their first-round draft pick in 2022, which in 2022 they signed Mitch Trubisky to be their starting quarterback. My God, it gets worse. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it gets worse, because in 2021 it was Ben Roethlisberger, and that was his last NFL season. And anybody out there who's a Steeler fan can basically see what was going on with Ben, and you could see his arm did not have the strength of a starting quarterback, because most of his passes were short passes that year. But he still is the GOAT, as far as I'm concerned, in Pittsburgh as quarterbacks. As you can see, I threw the jersey up behind me today as I'm going through this. All right, so present time, we have no quarterback, no starting quarterback, because they signed Mason Rudolph, but they listed him as a backup. So here is kind of like a directive they may be taking, or what, in my mind, I think they're doing. Are they waiting on Aaron Rodgers, or is it a new directive being taken into consideration? Here is my thought. Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson's all mentioned in Steelers talk are on other teams right now. They're all signed with other teams. So Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is the only one left. And like I'm saying, in my opinion, because that's only an opinion, I don't know if he's going to be the quarterback, or with all this stuff that's going on around Aaron Rodgers. And he is the only quarterback left. They did talk numbers briefly with Darnold. No deal. Fields went to the Jets because of no trust factor with Tomlin. The Steelers offered the same amount that the Jets did, and he took the Jets instead. And like I said, that is because of the factor where he didn't trust Tomlin last year when he was playing great and did nothing wrong, and they pulled the rug out from underneath them, and they took Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. So Justin Jameis Winston was mentioned for a minute, but this was while and just before Aaron Rodgers showed up in the Pittsburgh's facility last week, after 6 hours with team officials, no contract. I heard a healthy handshake was part of this. In which direction, who knows, especially with Aaron Rodgers. So that was that with the quarterbacks that supposedly who they're going for. Now, could there be a new directive? Because after Russell Wilson signed with the Giants, thank God, with the departures of Dan Moore, Justin Fields, and Russell Wilson, and signing their contracts with other teams, nets the Steelers compensatory draft picks. So now keep in mind, these three guys all netted the Steelers a draft pick. And they're gonna turn out to be probably third round picks. So here's what's gonna happen. So they have 3 third round picks added onto the 2026 draft. And here is my directive on what I think they gotta have a backup plan. So this has got to be the directive I'm taking as far as their backup plan. So they're going to have next year draft with these 3 draft picks in the first. They're going to have first, second round picks, 3 third round picks, a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick, 2 6th round picks, and the good old 7th round draft pick. So you look at that; they have all these draft picks coming up in 2026. This is some insane draft capital for the upcoming season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let's not forget where the draft is next year, people. It is in Pittsburgh. And next year's draft supposedly is a stronger draft class than this year's. So you see where this is going. So my thing is you could go with Rudolph because we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing. So we're just going to put Rudolph in there as the starter. You could go with Rudolph, get your over 500 record, and continue your winning streak for our beloved icon coach. And next year, make it and really make it your point to draft your future quarterback in Pittsburgh. You could draft a quarterback this year, depending on Rodgers, if he doesn't sign, and learn while Rudolph is your quarterback. And if you just even if Rodgers signs for 1 year or 2 years, you still have the quarterback that you're going to want next year to run the offense with experience. And if you draft a quarterback this year, learn from him, learn from Rodgers or whoever the quarterback is going to be. And next year, your future quarterback will come from one of these draft picks via draft pick or trading up or however they go about it with all these draft picks. So that is what I'm trying to say is the directive they're taking is if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they're going to use this draft capital next year to draft a quarterback because the quarterback class is much better next year. And that's where I think they're going to find their future quarterback for the Steelers. And then I also was thinking at the time, if Aaron Rodgers does sign, and the Steelers do draft a quarterback this year, or they draft a quarterback next year, and Rodgers is still around, they can learn from Aaron Rodgers, and it'll be like a Jordan Love situation when Aaron Rodgers was finishing up in Green Bay. So that is the directive I wrote that I came up with as far as why we don't have a quarterback. Because what's going on out there, we don't know. In my opinion, also, Tomlin is putting his coaching career at Pittsburgh on the line here. If this is the directive, because he definitely wants a stable quarterback. You could tell now because now he's reaching for straws here, and it definitely wasn't Rooney's plan. Well, like I just read before, it definitely wasn't Art Rooney's plan. So so he's going against Art Rooney right there, or you could say we know who's really running the team, and it's not Rooney. This could be the plan and the end of the dismal handling of the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. In my opinion, I like either way, but this draft capital next year has to result in the Steelers with their future quarterback underneath the center there in Pittsburgh. So in my opinion, it's a great directive. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all. So if you want to stay with Mason Rudolph as your starter, even if you draft a quarterback maybe in the second round, or I don't know, there's rumors out there now that they might be they might be drafting a quarterback in the first round. The kid Dart from Ole Miss. So I don't know if they want to go that route. They go that route, but you have to remember you have all this draft capital next year. And if Aaron Rodgers does sign, I believe they only want to sign him for a year. The last I heard, it's about money. I don't know. The Steelers want him for 1 year, and it's about money. But who knows? It's Aaron Rodgers. Like I say, prior shows, don't let that kill your head. Don't go find another hobby if you're going to worry about Aaron Rodgers coming to the Steelers. And they had to move on. They got to move on. If they're not gonna, if they know that they're not gonna get Aaron Rodgers, they have to move on. And this thing with the draft picks and the directive for drafting a quarterback next year, I like it. I like it a lot. So in a way, I think it's a smart move for them. So we'll see how that turns out, and we'll go from there. All right. So that's basically what that was my directive on the quarterback situation. Like I said, as far as Aaron Rodgers, who knows? There's all kinds of stuff floating out there that he's going to announce it on a Pat McAfee show. Latest I heard, he's going to retire. And if he retires and the Steelers are going through this, they are going to look like one of the worst situations ever in Pittsburgh Steelers history and out there in the NFL. That's what I got to say about that. All right, so as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I started the new segment here on the Yinzer Report, and I called it the Yinzer Chatter Chat. And as you guys know, I love to go to the comments. I love when you guys come on and you throw out comments there, and I love reading them out. And all right, let's see. We're going to go to the third edition of the Yinzer Chatter Chat. Here we go. First one up, Joseph Newell. And he writes, let me post it up there. I'll explain to you who he is. Go Yankees, go Michigan State. Okay. A little thing about Joseph Newell. That is my blood brother from work. That is my main man. That is my man who took care of me for my last 5-6 years before I retired at work. I worked with the guy every day. I carpooled with him every day. And we got such a relationship. We became like brothers. We became like family. And I love the guy to death, and he knows that. And Joey, his nickname is Noodles. We call him Noodles at work. Noodles, man, I'm just putting it out there. I love you, bro. I love you always. Thanks for joining in. Next up, Adam Carnick. Good evening, Ralph. Congrats to Sid the Kid. Yes, sir, Adam. Yes, sir. We're going to get into that. He has another record that he put up there, and he passed Wayne Gretzky. Next up is my buddy Raymond Mann. Hey, buddy, have a great show. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. And he also puts, why is my stealing? Well, he must put why is my stealing all your quarterbacks? I believe he mentions why is New York signing all your quarterbacks? Hey, well, the Steelers offered Justin Fields the same contract like I just mentioned, and he went to the Jets. That's got to be because of the trust factor with Mike Tomlin and what he did last year. And Russell Wilson, I don't care. I'm glad he went to the Giants. I didn't want him to be back. Here we go. Joseph Newell again, my boy Noodles. Who is going to be the quarterback next season for the Steelers? McCarron wants to know. That was another guy. He must be working with another guy I worked with before I retire. That guy had just came in. He was a great guy. I can't give you a straight answer for that right now because it's still up in the air. But right now we're going to go with who's there. And I'm going to say Mason Rudolph will be the starting quarterback for next year. Jerry Anderson. Do you think they will bring back Terry Bradshaw this year? If so, they are going to win it all. That is great. I like that comment, Jerry. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hey, I'll tell you what. I got a piece coming up in the show. I will be meeting Terry Bradshaw next week. So, I don't know. I'll ask him. Maybe I'll get a little interview with him and ask him if he wants to come back and quarterback for the Steelers. Because I am going to a sports show next week to meet Terry Bradshaw. So I already have my tickets and everything for it. So we'll get into that towards the end of the show. Thanks for the comment. Thank you very much. I like that one. Next up, Adam, sorry, Adam. I'm calling you Aaron Rodgers. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Adam. Adam Connor goes, if they don't get Rodgers, could you see the Steelers trading up in the first round to get a quarterback, probably Shedeur Sanders? Hey, that's out there too. I heard that too, but I don't think they're going to trade all the way up to get him. Because like I said, the talk has been about this kid, Dart from Ole Miss. And a couple of guys actually have them in their mocks, those mock drafts out there. They have him taking Dart, and they were very impressed by the kid from Alabama, Milroe. So they actually had dinner with him at his tryout there in Alabama. So keep an eye on those two names. It's a possibility. Anything's possible right now because I don't know what's going on. And I just saw before I came on the air that Mike Tomlin is having a press conference Sunday. So hopefully he's out there and he gives us some light on what's going on. So we'll see what happens with that, Adam. But yes, it is a probability. I mean, anything's probable at this point with what's going on out there with a quarterback. Larry B, my boss. Hey, Ralph. Hey, Larry. What's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Brian, what's up, Ralph? Brian, how you doing, buddy? That is our Boston host for his show. He does a great job. And the good old and the role model icon, Terran Rodriguez. Good evening, Ralph. Have an amazing show. Love you, Terran. You're the man. Thank you very much for joining in. All right, so that's pretty cool. So that's the Yinzer chatter chat for now. If anybody else wants to throw in a comment along the way, jump on in the chat there and I'll get to it. Right now, we're going to take a break. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm going to play a couple of colleagues of mine and the IE Sports Radio drop. So check these out. We'll be right back.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, guys? If you're looking for the best coverage of all Northern California sports, including 49ers, Giants, Warriors, then check out the NorCal Sports Report with yours truly, Andre Fernandez, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We have guests every single week talking 49ers, Giants, Warriors, Sharks, San Jose Earthquakes, and a whole lot more, plus 3C2A. You do not want to miss this show. So tune in Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Time to the NorCal Sports Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter, at any time. Be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back. This is Ralph Calise, host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, direct feed for all out of sports, and show is flying by. All right, so I'm going to get into opening day yesterday for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and just go over a little recap before spring training, through spring training, before we get to the opening day game. And yesterday was the day that we hope springs eternal for all 30 Major League Baseball clubs. The day where every team is even in the standings, the day where fans can look towards October and envision their favorite team playing in the World Series. Today, of course, is opening day for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and fans' hope has not been in abundance in opening day of the past. Team has not had a winning record since 2018, when they were 82-79 and missed the playoffs. The last time they made the postseason was 2015, and they bowed out to the wild card round to Chicago Cubs. That's Adam. If you're still listening, that was your team. I'm sure you remember that year. Paul Skeens wasn't around. The little thing me and Adam got going on with Paul Skeens. So after relatively a quiet offseason, this opening day feels different. The Pirates, they possess one of the most talented and marketable players all of baseball, with ace pitcher Paul Skeens. His phenomenal rookie season put more eyes on PNC Park than ever before, and his outings become must-see appointments for baseball fans. Skeens is ready to take the next step as a true ace for Pittsburgh, and many of his comments this offseason gave hope that he is emerging as a clubhouse leader. And as everyone knows, I gave you a couple of those comments, and one big one was last week when he was handed his bottle of champagne for the opening day start. And he said to manager Derek Shelton, "Let's get win number one." We'll see what happens with that. Besides skiing, the Pirates have plenty of other intriguing storylines going into opening day. Like we mentioned last week, will Jared Jones pitch this season? And who will get the most at-bats at first base with the injury to Spencer Horwitz? And can closer David Bednar have a bounce-back year after struggling in 2024? And if yesterday was any preview of that, I'll let you know what happens right here. So yesterday was game one. They were in Florida. They stood in Florida. They went from Bradenton, Florida, their spring training camp, to Miami. And the Pirate bullpen blows the opening day loss. So, I mean, you can expect sloppy opening game, yes, but this turned out to be a sloppy mess of a loss. So, as you know, everybody knows, Paul Skeens did start yesterday. He started the game, and he pitched pretty well. And they held an early lead, but like I just mentioned, the bad bullpen performance saw them lose 5-4 to the Miami Marlins. They lost on opening day for the first time since 2022, which was a 9-0 defeat on the road to the St. Louis Cardinals. We had our reigning National League Rookie of the Year right-handed pitcher start yesterday versus the Marlins. And he pitched, I believe he pitched 5 1/3 innings. Yeah, he started early on with no hits and 4 strikeouts, but allowed a double on his first pitch in the third inning to center fielder Derek Hill. Third baseman Graham Pulley reached first base for the Marlins after Pirate shortstop Isaiah Keener Khalifa throw wasn't quick enough. Skeens got catcher Nick Fortes to ground into a fielder's choice, but he beat the throw to first choice, preventing the double play, moving Hill to third. Shortstop Xavier Edwards grounded into a fielder's choice, and Hill would score, giving the Marlins a 1-0 lead. So already he was behind the 8-ball with a little bit of a sloppy play in the field there, leading to the run. The Pirates, they struggled from the plate with no hits through the first 4.2 innings. And they were actually facing the 2022 NL Cy Young one when the right-hander Sandy Alcantara. Third baseman Key Brian Hayes broke through in the top of the fifth inning with 2 outs. Both Kiner Falefa and left fielder Tommy Pham walked, allowing right fielder Brian Reynolds a chance. With the bases loaded, he came through with a single through the middle of left field, bringing home Hayes and Kiner Falefa, giving the Pirates a 2-1 lead. And that sent the Marlins pitcher Alcantara to the bench after that. Joey Bart got on base to lead off the 6th inning, and that was after he got hit with a pitch. And this was wild. This is a bad sign for the Pirates season right off the bat. Second baseman Nick Gonzalez hit a 2-run homer over the left field wall, extending the Pirate lead to 4-1. Gonzalez would leave after his home run trot after he had a left ankle discomfort. So the guy is rounding the bases, and all of a sudden his ankle gets hurt. Can't make this up, man. Oh, he was supposed to be one of our young upcoming talents this year because he played as a rookie last year, and he was given the job at second base. Oh, man, I hope he's all right because that didn't look good the way he was running around the base after he hit the home run. Adam Frazier came in for him at second base. Skeen started the 6th inning with a strikeout, but then allowed back-to-back walks to Edwards and left fielder Kyle Stowers. Pirates manager Derek Shelton took Skeens out after this, with his ace finishing with 7 strikeouts over 5.1 innings pitched. Now comes the bullpen. This is the worst part of the year this is going to be the worst part of the year for the Pirates. As I mentioned in prior shows, that this was going to be the problem this year. Right-handed pitcher Dan Dennis Santana came in relief of Skeens and walked designated hitter Jonah Bride to load the bases. Edwards then scored on a pass ball, cutting the lead to 4-2. Santana would strike out first baseman Matt Mervis for the second out, but allowed a walk to second baseman Otto Lopez, loading the bases yet again. Shelton went to a left-handed pitcher, Ryan Baruki, who would find himself down 3-0 on a count to a pinch hitter, Dane Myers. Baruki responded with 3 straight strikes to strike out Myers and keep it 4-2 heading into the bottom of the 3rd. The Pirates brought in right-hander Colin Holderman in the bottom of the 8th inning, and he allowed a walk to Stowers. He would force Bride into a ground out and struck out Mervis for 2 outs, but Stowers made it to second base. Holderman then allowed a single to Lopez, scoring Stowers, and ending up at second base after the throw home from Pirates center fielder O'Neill Cruz. Now, remember we said O'Neill Cruz is playing. They moved him to center field from shortstop, and he made a mental mistake yesterday, overthrowing the cutoff man, allowing the person who got the hit, Stowers, to go to second base. Like I said, sloppy plays. It's still spring training for them. A lot of sloppy plays. Maya should have struck out afterward, but home plate umpire missed it. He then singled as well, scoring Lopez from second, and you got a 4-4 ball game. Pirates had an opportunity to take the lead in the 9th. Tammy Pham double. Reynolds walked 1 out. Cruz flied out. Bart struck out, sending the game to the bottom of the 9th. And now here is what's going to be, I think, a change in the season, and it's not going to take very long. They brought in the closer from last year, David Bednar, and he allowed a triple right off the bat to Flores. He hit the ball to center field. Now, O'Neill Cruz again, he made one mistake. He got a bad read on the ball, but they do say the hardest play to cover is a line drive off a bat straight to center field, and he misjudged. He could have caught it. If he was a center fielder with time and experience, he probably would have ran it down. I think he would have ran it down. But he failed to properly track the ball, and it went over his head. And here you go. You got a man on third with no outs. They intentionally walked the next batter, and then Stowers again. His name is this guy on the Marlins was all over this game. He singled to right field, and the Marlins completed the comeback of a 5-4 win with Paul Skeens pitching five and a third innings, and he didn't get the loss, but the Pirates lost. They're 0-1, as I said in the beginning, and they are all 0-1 with Skeens pitching, and that didn't happen much last year. That's why one reason why he was Rookie of the Year, because most of the games he pitched, he won. And with Jared Jones on the short-term list there for his arm, they're going to need all the wins they can get, especially when Skeens is on the mound. So sloppy start for the Pirates. It was the third inning when I came on. There was no score. They're playing tonight. So we'll see if they can bounce back. You don't want to start 0-2 to the Marlins. That's really gonna put Pittsburgh in losing mode right off the bat. All right, so no comment. All right, we're going to take one more break, and we'll get back. We're going to do the Penguins. We got Sidney Crosby with another record, and I'm going to give you a little update of what's happening next week. I'm going to meet some old Steeler players again, and we'll get to all that when I get back. This is the Yinzer Report, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Mike from Indie Sports Nation. Come hang out with me each and every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk things Indiana sports. We talk Colts, Pacers, Fever, Indy Ignite, and we dive into the college scene as well. Boilermakers, Hoosiers, Irish, Bulldogs, and every school in between. And we don't stop there. We'll sprinkle in some NHRA and cover the IndyCar Series. From the turf, to the hardwood, to the track. We got you covered. Come hang out with your boy, Big Mike. Each and every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Indie Sports Nation. Right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, your boy Larry B, and I want to walk you through the world of sports. No, not just the mainstream major TV deal type sports, although those are important too. But let me be your guide through your journey of all sports, from college to the pros, the minors, and everything in between. Each week, we are talking sports galore with true diehards just like you from a hardcore fan's perspective that's sure to quench your thirst around leagues you may know all too well and some you may even discover here. That's right, sports fans. If you love sports of all kinds, enjoy hearing amazing sports stories, and respect all sports because you know how difficult any of them can be to play or compete in, then this is your show. Join me, your boy Larry B, on the defining moment each week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and let the sports come to you.
All right, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio with your host, Ralph Calise. Thanks for sticking with me, and let's get into the Penguins. Their playoff push is continuing on, but it seems to have hit a roadblock. They played 3 games, and they are losing ground quickly in their playoff spot. They played the Panthers on March 23rd, and it was a loss. It was a 4-3 overtime shootout loss. They did gain a point. They have 9 games left, and this further affects their postseason hopes. At this point, they were still 7 points out of the second Eastern Conference playoff spot, and they are on it. This was the first game of a 3-game road trip. Sidney Crosby, achievement, history, etc. As we've been going through with Sidney Crosby, he leads the NHL in points since the Four Nations tournament with 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points, and now leads the NHL in 5-on-5 points for the season. Let's not forget he's 37 years old. He has played much of this span less than 100% health-wise. After the game, Crosby now is 2 points away from 20 points per game seasons. When you watch the Penguins, Sidney Crosby, you witness greatness every night. Another note, after this game, Crosby is now tied for first in the NHL in 5-on-5 points with 51. This guy, he's gaining accolades every game. It's just amazing to see in a 15-year career in the NHL. All right, next game was in Tampa, and they just didn't show up. They lost 6-1. It was ugly. Tristan Jarry started in net, but he was pulled minutes into the first period after allowing 4 goals on 7 shots. 4 goals on 11 shots. The old Tristan Jarry showed up. Brian Rush scored the only goal for the Penguins. Malkin was a no-go. It was a late scratch with an undisclosed upper body injury. Crosby did extend his point streak to 8 games with an assist and needs 1 more point to set an NHL record for 20 consecutive seasons, averaging a point per game, thus leading me into the next banner for Sidney Crosby, who set the record in this next game. It was last night versus Buffalo. They lost again, 7-3. The playoffs are slipping away fast. But Captain Sidney Crosby breaks the NHL record for the point per game consistency that he shared with Wayne Gretzky, scoring the Pens' first goal of the game, 8:49 into the first period. It was his 80th point to assure he will finish his 20th NHL season, averaging at least 1 point per outing. 37 years old. Again, as we mentioned, Crosby surpassed Gretzky, who finished all but his 20th and final NHL season in 1998-99, averaging a point per game. So Crosby beats out Gretzky by a year. He now has that record. The Pens are now 1-3-1, and it's past 5, wiping away a strong run, winning 4 of their last 5 while pushing for the playoff spot. Tristan Jarry was pulled after allowing 4 goals on 12 shots. Oh, my God. So this guy was pulled. He's given up 8 goals on 19 shots. Oh, it's just terrible. And that's been their problem all year. 2 days after allowing 4 goals on 7 shots versus Tampa. Penguins continue unraveling on a night they've entered having allowed the NHL worst 261 goals. I hate to say it again, but you're not making the playoff giving up these many goals. Goalie play has been a problem all year for the Penguins, as we have been reporting, but we have faith because something special is happening in the Penguins AHL division of hockey. That's the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. They made the Calder Cup playoffs, and they have a goalie of the future down there. His name is Sergei Murasov. He was a 2022 round 4, 118th draft pick. And as of Thursday night, his record was 11-0 with 1 shutout, 2.60 goals against average, and a 9.16 save percentage. Now, mind you, he hasn't played. They must have called him up from another brand of lower level hockey to the AHL because he's 11-0. He's not lost the start. I looked up his stats. He's appeared in 12 games, so he must have came in a game that the other goalie did not play well. But that is something. 11-0. They're going into the playoffs, so I'll monitor that for us. See how he does in the playoffs, and see if he can continue his undefeated streak there at 11-0. So remember the name, guys. Sergei Murasov. Murashov. Murashov. He's a Russian goaltender, and he's on the Penguins AHL team, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. All right, so wow, I got in all the sports. That's great. And wow, look at that. We've just hit 100 views for the night. Thank you very much for all that is tuned in. There it is, the big 100. All right, so just a little update of what's going to happen. Next week, I don't believe I'm going to have a show because I'll try maybe to get one on during the weekend. If I can, I'll reach out to the higher-ups. I am going to the annual sports festival out here where I live. And this year there are a couple of Steelers there Friday night. And it's in New Jersey. It's in Edison, New Jersey. It's at the Raritan Center. I'll be going Friday night, maybe Saturday in the evening, and possibly Sunday, because I am going to see. Definitely going to meet Terry Bradshaw. Yes, I'm going to meet Terry Bradshaw, and I believe Rod Woodson is there again. And the tight end from the Steelers, Darnell Washington, will be there. Justin Fields will actually be there. I would have loved to met him as a Steeler because I didn't get to meet him at camp last year. But I guess that won't be happening because he's on the Jets now. And I believe there is another one who is slipping my mind. I'm not sure who it is. And then when you get there, they have like tables of dealers and people that they know, like old players, and they have them come in and sign too. A couple of years ago, for example, I met Greg Lloyd and LaVon Kirkland. So that is next Friday. That'll be in the afternoon. So it'll be from like 5 to 10. So I'll reach out to IE Sports Radio personnel. There will be no show Friday night. I'll try to get something maybe early Saturday, like I did last week, if they could set that up for me. And maybe I'll try to get something from the show. Maybe I'll see if I could maybe speak to one of the players live. I'll put it live on the stream if I can. Again, I'll get in touch with IE Sports Radio to see if I could do that. And, looking forward to it. I met Terry Bradshaw once before, and just a little story. I don't know if you could see my chain that I'm wearing. He loved it. He said he wanted it. He goes, "Sir, that thing around you looks perfect." He goes, "I want it." I don't know if you can see it. The medallion is the Steeler logo. Yeah, it's a really cool. I was gifted this by my the time she was my girlfriend, now my wife. And this is getting buried when the old Yinzer Report host Ralph Calise passes on. It's getting buried with me. The instructions are already out there. So that's the show for tonight, guys. I'll end it a little early. I believe there's a couple of shows coming on after me tonight. So just remember, enjoy yourselves out there. Hopefully you're enjoying your NCAA tournament brackets and they're not blown up yet. I am still alive in mine because I have Houston going all the way, amongst others. As you saw, my friend put up Michigan State earlier in the show, and he's got Michigan State, so he's still alive. But a lot of Duke and a lot of Florida were picked in my personal pool that I do on the side. But I did pick Houston, so I'm going to get myself all revved up. A couple of cocktails for that game coming up at 10 o'clock. I'll watch the end of the Pirates. And, hey, everybody enjoy your weekend. Supposed to be beautiful up here east. I don't know about out there in the west. It's probably always beautiful. But, it's supposed to be like shorts weather tomorrow out here. All right, so this is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. We're going to sign off for now. And everybody enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you not next Friday. Definitely not next Friday. I'll try to get a show posted Saturday. Adam Carter, we got one last comment in the chatter chat. He says, "Have a great weekend, Ralph. Nothing but rain for me this weekend." All right, Adam. Well, good luck with that. I'm sure you can find something to do. Always things to do around the house. We call them up here in the east. We call them honeydews. Honeydew this, honeydew that. Yes, you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for the 110 views out there. It was a great show. I had a great time. Individual report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is 4. Thank you. Have a great night.